everyone, and welcome to another Spin It Reviews interview. And today I'm here with the local singer-songwriter Tyson Motsenbocker. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. So I found out about you a few months ago. I want to say around September when you were opening for James Bay, the up-and-coming UK singer-songwriter, folk rock, soft rock, that kind of style, and you're sort of in a similar vein. So I picked up this EP of yours that came out last year, Rivers and Roads. Great stuff. I was actually listening to it on the way over here. So how would you describe your style for people that aren't really familiar? What are some of the most clear influences?
Well, I'm definitely singer-songwriter, folk music. Influences that's always a hard question for me. Because a lot of the people that I really respect and like are not necessarily the kind of music that I play.
Yeah.
I've been really influenced by this guy from LA named Blake Mills. He used to play in the band Dawes back in the day, I guess, but he's an incredible guitar player, really good songwriter, so I've been listening to him a lot lately.
So this EP, Rivers and Roads, again, a great EP. Now, the themes on this album are very, very personal. More specifically, they're very sentimental, very reflective. There's sort of a recurring thing of being apart from loved ones. What do you say are some of the main concepts that went into this thing?
Well, the way that album came about actually is that a few guys that I know, a few friends of mine, were asked to do a fly fishing trip for the company Kavu, which is they're from Seattle, Washington. They asked them to do a fly fishing trip, which started in Seattle and went to Los Angeles. So they were going to fly fish all the rivers in between. And so they made this film about it, and the film was called Rivers and Roads, and they asked me to do the music for the film. And so my concept behind it was that I wanted to make a song for rivers and I wanted to make a song for roads. So the first song on the album is called I Still Have to Go, and it's the road song, and the last song on the album is called Blink Behind the Leaves, the river song. So that was kind of the concept behind the album, that's why it came to me. But I think those are themes that I deal with a lot, right? Being separated.
Yeah, because I remember at that show, you were talking about how some of it was how some of it was based on a real thing of you walked across the state pretty much to San Francisco or something.
Yeah, last October I did that, and I walked. So we are currently in Del Mar.
Yep, San Diego, northern San Diego County.
Yeah, and I started my walk here. Actually, I started it at the bridge that separates Del Mar and San Beach, and I walked from there to the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco.
So how long did that take?
It took me exactly 40 days, which was not on purpose, but it ended up being that way. That was a lot of sort of the content for this record that I just finished, which is going to be out this year. Well, 2000.
So a full-length album?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. That would definitely be anticipated for me. And also at this show, you sort of talked about this EP that you put out in 2010 that I actually found on Bandcamp, even though it's not linked anywhere on your site. That you said you seem to sort of disavow it, even though stylistically it's not too far from this. But what would you say are the main differences for why you disavow it? I can't really think of any synonyms.
Yeah, no, I always kind of joke about that album because it was the first thing I made. I made it in 2010, maybe? 2009, 2010.
Yeah, late 2010.
That's sort of, I have kind of a love-hate relationship with that record. I made it a long time ago. It feels old to me. But it was also it's pretty indie rock. It's rock. It's a lot more rock and roll and stuff like that. So I was just kind of joking about it, but I have a soft spot for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if there's any thing to compare with this, that's probably less catchy, I'd say, than some of the stuff.
It's much less accessible to people, right? It's harder to.
Yeah, there's not so much of a clear verse chorus structure.
Exactly.
So one thing that I do like to do to end my interviews typically is ask what our favorite albums of 2014 are, especially appropriate since we're at the end of the year now, and a lot of companies or publications are actually coming out with their lists. But see, normally these interviews would actually be just at the show, but then I found out that you, as we kind of implied over this, you live really close, just at the town right next to me. So we were talking about that, and now 3 months later, we're just at this local record store in theory,
which I just decided I didn't even know it existed.
Well, do you know what the one down Mission Hills?
I don't know about that one either. The only one that I know about is Blues.
Yeah. There's also one up in Carlsbad.
Oh, really?
So what I was thinking is that maybe we could go through M Theory here and pick out some records that you like from this year. Just sort of add a little something to that segment.
Sounds great.
Okay, let's go.
We've got some Delta Spirit. It's a lot louder record. Feels big. Some Orange County folks. This is a great record. Delta Spirit, Into the White. The New Pornographers. They sound like not very nice people, but from what I hear, they're very nice people. They're from Victoria, BC. From what I know, I have a bunch of friends there, and they're just a really good rock and roll band. So this is a good record. Voyager, Jenny Lewis. Not only does this record have very cool album art, it also has very cool album music. And finally, I really like this one. It includes a free CD. This is Tweedy. I think this is his son, Jeff Tweedy's son.
Yep.
Jeff Tweedy of Wilco. And I just love Jeff Tweedy. Pretty much everything he does, I love. I think he's amazing. And this is a great record also. I think I still like Wilco better. But I'm very glad that he made this. So there you go.
So yeah, Tyson, thanks for joining me here.
Thanks for having me, Mark.
Again, the EP is great. Looking forward to the album. I might cover that on my Underground Corner segment. You never know. Actually, probably no. I probably will. Okay, yeah, this EP, Rivers and Roads. Check it out. I'll have his information linked in the description. And yeah, thanks for hanging out with me, man.
Thanks, Mark.
We'll see you on the next episode of Spin It Reviews.
One time I was at a Modest Mouse show in Spokane, Washington, and they made the band stopped early. They cut the band off so that they could start the DJ dance party that was going to happen afterward.
Have you heard of Modest Mouse's new song? They're putting out an album next year. Finally. Yeah, it's really good.
Well, I will look out for it.
Yeah. It's called Lampshades on Fire because Modest Mouse.
Here's a record by Metallica. It has lightning bolts on it.
Very new.
I just like to make comments, you know?
You know, it's like people putting like most anticipated albums 2015, and I'm like, if you're really putting Metallica on there, you trust them that much for, and not quality-wise, just that they'll finish it next year.
Metallica?
Yeah.
Well, I heard this thing recently that had all of James Hetfield's Yaz.
I've heard that so many times.
It was all in one. It was really good.
Like this 3-minute long mashup.
Yeah. Oh, that's the new Weezer one that you're talking about.
Yep. So I typically do look at openers really well, but for some reason I was kind of pessimistic for that for some reason. I was thinking right during the first song, like, oh boy, here's another 20-something white guy with acoustic guitar, you know, talking about bashing religion and stuff like that in the first song. But then I started listening to it more, and it was really good stuff actually. Yeah. You know, I'm kind of glad that ruined that because that made way more sense in my head. I'm just gonna cut that part entirely. Okay. I don't know my brain. I've got my brain fart at the moment. Let's start over. Okay. Hey.
Cut and go.
You know.